Hey friends, I thought it would be fun to keep the trend up here for today's video as well. One of the things I hear often when I am on sales calls is I just don't know what my niche is. I just don't know if the world needs another coach. I'm going to help you put this thought pattern to bed. And really, look at the world needs coaches. There are anywhere from 300 to 350,000 people every single month, every month, seeking out a coach. Now just imagine if you put one of those people per month into your calendar. That gives 350,000 coaches the capacity to have one client every single month. Totally doable. Okay. Second, human design. Okay. Now we are hitting 250,000 people every single month seek out human design. Well, what does that tell you? That's another, if you just put one of those in your calendar, okay, there is the ability for 500,000 coaches to put one person in their calendar every single month. Totally doable. Okay. When you start to break down the numbers, now all of a sudden it's like, oh, 500,000 different seeking human beings every single month are looking for assistance. And I'm going to help you understand, what are they seeking? Okay. Well, here's the thing. If there's a problem in the world, a coach can be created for that problem. So today we are going to play in this little list. I found this list online. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of Louisa Zoe. She's a really excellent marketer for her coaching business. So I'm going to share this list with you, because what it's going to do is it's going to open you up to realize, holy moly, if 500,000 people every single month are seeking a coach, there are problems out there. Okay. So let's take these problems and recognize you can be filled in the gap. And what I love the most, here's what I love the most, is that I'm going to say that pretty much the whole list, human design can be brought in to every single one of these coaching niches. So I think this list has, I don't know, over 40 different coaching aspects. This is going to open you up to go, holy moly, there's so much potential out there. And you can do this. I know you can do this. I do this. Louisa does this. Tony Robbins does this. Imagine it's available to you. So let's share that list so that you can open up to the possibility. Okay. Let's just take a look at this. Okay. If we're going to just scroll through here and just watch, okay, there's recovery coaches. What does that mean? Well, people in addiction need to have a recovery coach. Style coach. I am not the best person to give you style recommendations. I wear bunny hugs, yoga pants, and on the odd occasion, a plaid shirt. Okay. An image consultant. So what do you want your image to be? Reputation consultants. They are all over the internet trying to keep the reputation of businesses alive and well and contained. That's what they do. Travel coach. How many people want to travel? Tons of people want to travel. They need coaches. Why do they need coaches? Because they cannot save. They don't know where to go. All of these different things. Confidence coach. Guess what? 70% of the population have an undefined ego. Guess what that tells me? That tells me that there is a massive need for confidence coaches. How do you learn confidence? Guess what? You learn confidence by taking action, taking the bumps in life, going out there, trying it, and moving through the fear. That's what a confidence coach does. Voice coach. Here's what's funny. There was a marketing firm that I hired, and guess what? They were voice coaches. So they were not a marketing firm. Totally bad on me. Okay. But voice coaches, acting coaches, music coaches, sports coaches, all of this, you can bring human design into it. Why? Because the more self-actualized the human is, guess what happens? The more they can allow themselves to be the best version of themselves. So in sports, really paying attention. Maybe you have a projector. Well, let's put them in goal. Maybe you have a manifesting generator. Well, let's put them on, a front line. Keep them running and busy the whole time, right? All these kind of things. You can take a look at human design through any one of these lenses. The Agile Innovation Coach. This is for businesses who want to stay on trend. They want to stay in a space where they're moving forward and where they are relevant to what's going on in their market. Performance coach. Well, most executives hire performance coaches for their middle management. How can human beings perform at the best? Well, if they are, on point with who they are, if their internal narrative is supporting them, then they can support the business. Team building coach. Well, this is excellent because the Penta and the Wa give us all of this information, and you will have access to that in the Human Design Self-Study. And we talk about it in our mentorship. We walk through team building in our mentorship. A negotiation coach. Guess what? Anybody who's in the self-development world understands negotiation, because guess what? We are constantly negotiating with our conditioned mind. Once you understand those negotiation skills, take that out into the marketplace. Okay? Every single human being, if they haven't allowed the conditioned mind to railroad them or run over them, they are excellent negotiation coaches. A motivational coach. Well, we know that through the transformations of human design, through the variable process and trusting the strategy and authority and watching how those strengths operate, there's a new level of motivation that happens with the mind, with the animation of who you are. Okay. Legal coaches. Oh my goodness. There is so many lawyers that are leaving the confines of the association with, how do I want to say this? A group of lawyers in their business. They're going out to coach people so that their legal bills don't need to be ridiculous. Okay. So being private counsel for large organizations or profitable entrepreneurs, all of that kind of stuff. Legal coaches are excellent. Real estate coaches. Oh, I have a reflector friend who does real estate coaching and life coaching on the side as well. And she marries the two. So once she understands, the coaching world, oh my goodness, she talks about a property, a piece of property, like she would describe her best friend. And people just lick that up and they're buying that property because she infuses it. She's a reflector. She's infusing it with the beauty that it really is. Okay. So retirement coaches, oh my goodness. Do you know that, well, you probably know this. I don't know exactly what the statistic is, but most people are living paycheck to paycheck and they have not even thought about retirement. Retirement is so far away from them. Like, here's what I know. Manifesting generators. We probably will never retire because we were really passionate about what we do. But really understanding, what does retirement look like for people? Do they want to continue to serve in their communities? Do they want to continue to serve the world in retirement? Do they want to just go travel and see the world? Do they just want to just stop? And a retirement coach can help people recognize, in order to stay vital and fit, there still needs to be a purpose. And living in that purpose is really, really helpful for people. An investment coach, well, as we watch the structures of what's going on in the world, okay, as we watch these structures start to crumble down, guess what? Inflation is taking away your buying power. So where are we supposed to put our money? Do we put it into cryptocurrency? Do we put it into Web 3.0? Do we put it into property? What is happening? Investment coaches are so critical. Finance coaches, same type of thing. Financial coach probably helps more around budgeting, your day-to-day activity. This is key, okay? This is key. In the Penta, we must have someone who is directing the finances, and that is Gate 2 is always the financial director, okay? Spiritual coaches, well, human design has spirituality built right into it, but it also has the mechanics and the scientific aspect. So spiritual coaches, what's going on in the etheric body, in the mental body, in the aura, right? Spiritual coaches help with that so that we can, assist people with that quote unquote healing, to repair back to our natural state. Meditation coach, oh my goodness. I have a friend who does meditation for children. I am telling you, her Facebook posts, her community connection just fills my heart. I actually had her, she was an employee of mine at the bank that I managed, and she's gone out and created this beautiful, like I'm talking beautiful space for children to learn how to meditate and to become more mindful, which is next on our list. To become more mindful and understand the chatter that's going on. Like, we're talking little tiny kids here, 5 years old, 6 years old, 3 years old, 4 years old. They already have this deep narrative that's so embedded into them that they're not good enough, that they're stupid, that they don't have the best kind of clothes, so they're not stylish enough. All these things are already embedded in these children, and she's helping them come out of that. Okay, this is so beautiful. Stress management. Well, hello, root center. Root center, the adrenal glands, the cortisol levels in the human society for, fight, flight, freeze, fawn, scared, pressurized. If you can help people lean into the meditation, lean into the mindfulness, help them with their finances, all of these things could be right here in the stress management coach. Productivity coach. Well, we all know that energy management is key, not time management. Productivity is all about your energy field, okay? The transformational coach. Well, of course, what's happening here, this is what human design has embedded in it, is transformation, taking the conditioned mind out of the game, so that the transformation can happen internally to be shown into the world externally. A writing coach. ChatGPT, AI, well, guess what? It's trying very hard to take writing coaches right out of the game. There is no technology on this earth that is ever going to replace the majesty of the human body and the connection with the consciousness field. Artificial intelligence is not the consciousness field. Writing coaches are still necessary in today's world. Grief coaches. Oh my goodness. I have a dear, dear, dear connection with a grief coach. She does amazing work. I can, if you want her name, and you want to connect with her, just let me know. Leave a message for me, shoot me a message, and I will send that to you. Her mannerisms, she's a manifester. She's an emotional manifester. It's like her ability to hold space for people is amazing, so that they can walk through the grief process, because she walked through the grief process. She's innovative in how she does it, so that she can hold space for you to do that as well. Public speaking, well, there are so many people that go to conferences and they're looking for motivation, right? They're looking for a new way. They're looking for some kind of transformation. Public speaking coaches can provide that. Okay. They can, help people get on the stage, Communication coach, Toastmasters. Have you ever heard of Toastmasters? Well, $1 billion organization, because people are afraid. They've been told as a child, you're to be seen and not heard. So we're not taught how to communicate, how to use the throat gates, how to use our Mercury and shine through and communicate our message and be a proper outer authority for people. We're not taught that. So communication, learning the human design system, understanding the range of that outer authority, so that you can help people communicate better. Branding coach, human design does a really majestic aspect of branding. So does Gene Keys, because it really is, who are you? And a branding coach can be for an organization, right? You can pull up an organizational chart as well and really understand, who are they? What's the focus? A marketing coach, well, if you are a coach, period, marketing coaches are like, I have probably, I don't know, 5 to 10 of them email me every single week asking to be my coach, to do services for me. So marketing coaches are definitely required in the world. Sales coaches, Flipping the Script, that's a book you really want to understand. Keeping your people, when you're having sales conversations, when you are creating content that is designed to sell, you want to keep people in a space of decision making, right? Convincing people will never work. How do I know this? Because of all the sales calls that I did when I first got into this process, and recognized that there is an art form to sales. There's an art form to sales. I know that I can be a conduit and a coach for people to move from point A to point B. But am I always really, really good at selling that? No, I'm not. I'm still working on it. But what I want to do is help you to go deeper into your decision making, because that's where I want you to make your decisions from, not from a fantasy. I don't want you to make decisions from survival. I want you to make decisions from this intrinsic place that really knows, yes, I can do this. I can be an entrepreneur. Yes, I can be a coach in the world. As you see, there's millions and millions of opportunities per year to be a coach. 500,000 per month or more per month. Opportunities that are waiting for you. Okay. Leadership coach. This is so important as our governments crumble, because what happened is so many of our government officials, they became lifelong politicians. I don't know if our founding fathers really, really wanted our government officials to become lifelong public, quote unquote, public servants that ended up not being public servants. They became, it became a space where, large organizations bought off the politicians, and this space where they were lining their own pockets instead of actually taking care of the human beings on this earth plane. So leadership is going to be changing when the 2027 shift happens. Okay. And you're watching this, it's happening prior to, and it's going to happen for years afterwards. Leadership is not about coercive actions. Okay. It's not about threat, because that's what leadership has been, that's the realm that leaders around the world, like, have you ever watched C-SPAN? Have you ever watched any kind of governments in their House of Commons or whatever it is in other places, their legislative assemblies? Have you ever watched them? Well, they're worse than children on a playground. They're worse than that. That's not leadership. Throwing stones at one another is not leadership. Leadership is helping the entire tribe, the collective, win and get better. That's what leadership is. And leadership across the plane, across the whole world, is changing. It's changing. Personal development coach, well, of course, human design is built right into that. Divorce coach, well, if we had the next one, marriage coaches, which you can be either one. But if you want to be a marriage or relationship coach, human design is magical for that, right? Taking two different charts and making a third chart and being able to help people see that there is a third entity that comes about after two people's auras meld and mesh. There's this third energy that is present, and most people don't understand that. They're trying to push up against each other, and then what happens? Well, divorce happens because the electromagnetics, right, those hanging gates that want the other side, they want it so bad, and it creates an electromagnetic. Well, guess what? That can be a real, like, luscious, yummy, desirable spot to be when you're first connecting, because the genetic code wants to have difference. And then all of a sudden it becomes this space in the relationship, and it's like constantly rubbing one another, and it's like, ooh, I can't do this, I don't want to do this. And then there's no acceptance there, and that energy field can't be seen for the magic that it is. So divorce, marriage, coaches, relationship coaches, parenting. Oh my goodness. Human design is excellent for parenting. Why? Because now all of a sudden you can see the differences of your kids. You know that they're different. You totally know that. You're parenting them, and you're like, this one has a personality, this one has a personality, this one has a personality, even when they are twins. Okay? Even when they're twins, there is a difference. So parenting, being able to help people parent their children differently. Huge. Fertility coach, human design can definitely help with that, because once you begin to operate your energy field differently, your hormones can balance inside of you. And here is what hypnotherapist Marissa Peer, one of the things people say to her all the time is, I just want to be pregnant. I just want to be pregnant. I just want to be pregnant. She has a lot of infertile women go to her for hypnotherapy. And what she says and the stories that she uses is, really pay attention to how you're speaking to yourself. Do you just want to be pregnant, or do you want to birth a child and raise a child? So you want to talk to your body about, oh, I just don't want to just be pregnant, right? And then what is the fear around that? So you want to go into the human design system, and you want to look at, where is all the fear? What's holding the fertility back? So Ra has indicated that fertility rates are going to drop because of the shift in the solar plexus. Is that going to be true? I don't know. I don't know if that is, if that's natural, or if that is something that the Cross of Planning has played with their science, because that's what the cross of planning is. It's all about science. I don't know. I don't know. So that's one thing I can definitely say, is that I don't know that everything that Raw had indicated was natural, or was it just how the voice saw it into the future because of all the meddling that the cross of planning did and is doing to humans. Okay, I don't know. Weight loss coach, nutrition coach, fitness, wellness, health, all of these can use human design in the background. The primary health system, understanding the magic squares, the rave psychology, and then bringing in the naturopathic understanding of the gates and of the circuitry, so that the health and wellness of the human can shine into the world. Mindset, well, this is huge, right? I think mindset coaching needs to be in all of this, because if we're not aware of what the narrative is, if we're not aware of how our conditioned minds are constantly narrating and holding us back and telling us that we're not good enough and telling us to people please and making all of these excuses, if we're not aware of that, then the transformation that is possible for humanity isn't going to happen. Career coach, executive coach, business coach, course, all of these can happen when you understand the penta, the wa, you understand the dynamics of partnerships, you understand triggering. That, all of that right there, you can take into the world and make millions of dollars. Okay, how do I know this? Because this is what I do for people. I know that 6- and 7-figure opportunities are everywhere for you. Okay, if there is a problem, there is a coaching solution that can be implemented into the gap. Okay, life coaches, this is really all encompassing. Okay, and this is what human design does. It is self-actualization. Okay, so let's just stop the share, and now you can really understand something. Okay, you can really lean in. All of the excuses, I don't know what my niche is going to be, I don't know if the world needs another coach. Well, this trend right here, a $20 billion valuation per year in the coaching industry. If you just had like a minuscule amount, one client every single month, 500,000 people search for this. You had one of those. 500,000 coaches could live very well and earn a very good living if they just had one client per month. So imagine that, okay? Lean into this. The coaching industry, if you're sharing your excuses and you're holding yourself back from your excuses, then you need a coach. You need a coach. You need to be able to bust through that mindset and really know you can do this and you can deliver. You can deliver coaching, because all coaching is a guidance system and feedback, and that is it. And if your feedback style is correct for someone, your fractal line will hear you, they will step into it, and they will really benefit and transition with your process. So when you're hearing the excuses, I don't know what kind of niche, I don't think the world needs another coach, I really don't know if I'm built for this, understand, we can all do it. We can all do it, because it's a feedback loop. That's all coaching is. Okay. So you have 2 ways to connect with me. You want to build a business and hit 6 and 7 figures? Well, then I have my human design business integrated solutions. Group and individual coaching is available there, as well as a proprietary licensed process to build out your coaching program. And you will also have the entire human design self-study. Now, Why do you want to go that way? Because you want to go that way so that you can go out into the world and serve as a coach and do it in the most energetically correct way through your own human design. Number two, you want to learn human design. You want to learn this skill. As you can see, it's on the uptick. 250,000 people about. Search this term every single month. Okay. This term is searched that often. So you want to learn human design. You want to embody and bring it into your process. Well, there's a self-study. And now the self-study also includes 3 months, 90 days of the mentorship so that you can get a taste of the community, so that you can feel into the community. And we meet 6 times a month. Okay, 6 times a month. So Timothy, Rachel, myself, supportive mechanism to help you lean into the magic of who you are and learn the skill easily. The clients that are in there, they're building out their businesses. They are busting through these mindset holdbacks. They are embodying their human design and letting their gene keys emanate, right? Just shine through. So all of these things are happening, and the potential for this is huge. So lean in, love yourself, and let's connect and let's get going.